Welcome to Delta Green, God's Teeth, brought to you by Black Project Gaming. Get read in at blackprojectgaming.com. I'm Vince, your host and handler for this campaign. Joining me are Brett as Robert Bobby Gleeckman with the NSA's Tailored Access Operations Unit, Cami as FBI Special Agent Sarah Hart, also known as Agent DAPHNE, Doug as Virginia State Trooper Gerrald Bear Swenson, Jack as Father Nicolas Alvarado, professor at Georgetown University, and Sonia as Dr. Leah Caron, Army physician at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. God's Teeth is a campaign of unthinkable horrors, written by Caleb Stokes for Delta Green, the role-playing game. For more information on Delta Green, please visit delta-green.com. Music in these episodes is brought to you by Cryo Chamber and Epidemic Sound. This podcast contains depictions of and allusions to violence against both children and animals, as well as unnatural horror, graphic violence, and adult language. As a result, it is intended solely for mature audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Agent DAPHNE. It is 2 a.m. on Sunday, February 3rd, 2001. You were woken not long ago by the hidden beeper concealed in your closet, alerting you to a message from the group. You threw yourself out of bed and checked the encrypted email server, where you found a message summoning you to a meeting at a rural gas station just off of Interstate 95 in Maryland. It's snowing, and there are two cars in the lot. One is a battered 1990 Toyota Corolla, and the other is a relatively sensible 1995 Honda Civic. You pull up and you park. And what do?
I think I wait for a second to see if anyone else gets out of their cars first. Can I see through like the windows, like who would I recognize anyone?
So you don't see anyone other than an attendant behind the counter inside the gas station itself. As for the vehicles, neither of them appear to be running. It's cold enough to where you could see the plumes of exhaust coming from the muffler, and you don't see either from either vehicle.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so then I will go ahead and step out and head inside. And if I don't immediately see anyone that sparks interest, I'll kind of just browse the candy aisle like I'm looking for something.
Okay. Yeah, you step inside, and there is that kind of off-tone chime letting the attendant know that the door is opened and subsequently closed as someone has entered. The attendant kind of makes eye contact with you for a moment, and with a nod of his head indicates the small closed kitchen in the rear by the restrooms, next to a shuttered counter. Along the way, though, you notice this cardboard advertisement for pizza near the entrance. It's a large photo of a young girl's face tilted back to bite into a slice of pizza. The image has been vandalized, the eyes blacked out, a stitched scar added to the cheek, and the phrase, "too white," written across the girl's enormous teeth. Each pepperoni slice has the word meat written across it in all caps.
I take note of it, but I think it's anything other than just like weird teen vandalism at this point. But yeah, file that in the memory bank for later and head back to the small little area that the attendant indicated to.
Yeah, you head back, and there's, from what you can see, there's just a little bit of a glow from these 3 security monitors that display the station's exterior. There is a light switch, and when you flip it on, you immediately are almost startled by this middle-aged black woman standing still in the dark among the scattering roaches. Arrayed in front of her, and on this unlit stove, are a pistol, a manila folder, and a filthy pink folder illustrated with a cartoon cat.
Jesus, you make a habit of standing in the dark?
A-Cell tasked me with contacting you. You've been given a list of friendlies to vet for entrance into the group. They've already had a credential review. Your mission is a loyalty test. Their names are in the manila folder. You've got a conference room set up at the Holiday Inn Express in Sykesville for tomorrow morning. It's a criminology lecture. You're supposedly training law enforcement and government personnel on domestic abuse. And you kind of look at her, and she's middle-aged, kind of like I said, barely 5 feet tall, about 154 pounds. She looks sleep deprived. The bags under her eyes they've got to weigh a metric ton. But her position in the room is very tactical. She's got clear lines of sight to the fire exit, to the kitchen entrance, and the security monitors.
Got it. Yeah, I'll pick up the folder and kind of look through it. Anything about these people that I should be aware of? I'm assuming it's all in here. I could read, but it's early.
So she gives you an opportunity to look through the folder. And there are names and contact information for 3 individuals in there. There's one for a Virginia State Trooper by the name of Gerrald Swenson. Another for a Father Nicolas Alvarado, a professor at Georgetown University. Captain Leah Caron, Army physician at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. And an NSA employee with the National Security Agency by the name of Robert Gleeckman. Agent Clove, as she introduces herself, speaks up and says, "That's everyone we've been able to put together that my previous contacts had contact with." And there are email printouts in there where Agent Clove used to arrange to meet on 3 February 2001 at 10 a.m. in the conference room at that Holiday Inn Express with each of those individuals. For Swenson and Caron, the conference is called Domestic Abuse Intervention and Response Professional Development Seminar 2B, and their supervisors are making them go. For Alvarado, the emails refer to previous work that he did for both Hall and Garner, and openly says that the seminar is a cover for a clandestine briefing. What's your criminology at?
My criminology is 70.
Okay, yeah. This is terrible OPSEC. Terrible operation security here. Not only that, but the people on this list have absolutely nothing to do with one another. You have no telling what the criteria must have been for them to be selected, or whether there was even any criteria at all. I mean, you've got a state trooper, you've got a priest and a professor, and you've got an Army physician. Definitely not the normal cell composition, at least in your experience.
Not a lot to go on here.
There was intel we received from a recent operation that a children's residential facility called Cornucopia House, it's located on a farm near Zion in Maryland. It's a threat. It must be neutralized. This job needs to be done, and you are to finish it while vetting these 3 individuals, 2 birds with 1 stone. Your job is to secure unregistered firearms, mask up, and go to Cornucopia House at night after the kids are asleep. You are to kill every adult. Do not let them speak. Don't let any of them speak. Dispose of the bodies and the evidence, and when it's done, you call me on the burner phone.
When you say it like that, straightforward.
She slides this bricky Nokia towards you. If you have any difficulty talking them into it. She nods her head towards the cartoon cat folder.
Understood.
Do not let any of these recruits call for help or permission from anyone at their day jobs. This has to remain compartmentalized, but most of all, you need to do it fast. There are kids being killed right now.
All right, I better head that way.
Good. Anything else?
No, I think I can figure it out.
She slides the manila folder, the cartoon cat folder, and the phone towards you. My phone is programmed into the phone call when it's done. Give me 5 minutes before you leave.
She just kind of nods.
And she walks out.
During those 5 minutes, I'll open the folder with the cartoon animal on it and just kind of peruse through it super quick.
The cover of the folder is pink and has, again, this sticker of a cartoon cat from Japan. The cover is sticky from specks of blood and something black that looks like oil. It smells of gasoline. You don't perceive the content so much as experience a disembodied reaction to it. I need you to make a sanity test, please.
No, it's fail.
All right, roll 1d4.
2.
Not bad. You lose 2 sanity from the unnatural. Where are you? Your car? Your hotel room? The folder lies next to you, alongside the bottle. You don't remember buying the bottle. The bottle is almost empty and the sun is starting to crest over the horizon. Clove is long gone. Trying to conjure what you saw, you can only imagine flipping the folder open, curious as to why you can't hold a memory of doing it before. You're certain that if you did, you would find nothing inside except a rectangular portal to a huge sucking void that draws your body and soul into it like a collapsing star. The pages will eat you if you open the folder again. The only thing more absolute than your terror is the knowledge that she was right. They all have to die.
All right. Getting my shit together and heading to, what was it, the Holiday Inn is what we're meeting?
The Holiday Inn. Yep, the Holiday Inn Express in Sykesville.
Yeah, so she takes like a super quick shower, not that it does anything to clear her head, grabs her go bag and everything and heads that way.
Excellent. So for our friendlies, for Mr. Gleeckman, for Mr. Swenson, for Father Alvarado, who makes it to the Holiday Inn first, do you think?
Bobby's not a super punctual dude, so potentially not. I mean, he's punctual, but he's not like he's not like a get there half an hour early kind of a guy. So
sure,
he'll show up right on time.
Now, just to be clear, Bear's been told that he needs to go to this training. He has no idea that there's something else to this, right?
At this point, no.
Okay.
So you were just, based on the email traffic that you received, it was for a domestic abuse and intervention and response seminar. The only ones who know that maybe something is up, obviously, would be Father Alvarado or Mr. Gleeckman, since they were specifically told that, or it was specifically referenced the work that they did for the two previous agents they had contact with as friendlies, that it was a cover for a clandestine briefing.
Right. So I think Bear would probably be there, early and, to attend the seminar and all that.
Yeah, as soon as you step inside, it's like any other small, like 3-star hotel conference room you've been in plenty. There's a projector hooked up to a laptop that has a PowerPoint presentation up on the screen. There's a small tray of bagels, a coffee pot. It looks like you would expect a seminar, a professional law enforcement seminar, to appear. But you're the first one there.
Bear checks his watch. I'm early, but not that early. I think Bear would go out to the lobby and just ask him, if somebody else is here, because surely somebody would be setting up, right?
Well, the individual working the front desk kind of looks to you and says, "No, sir. I believe you're the first one here."
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm teaching the seminar.
Maybe so, sir. I'll be sure to direct anyone else who checks in your way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I'll be over. I'll be in the room.
Excellent, sir. Thank you.
And I think Bear would just go back, go over. There's not any material or anything laid out. He checked for that, handouts, flyers.
Just the PowerPoint presentation, which appears to be running, but is currently stuck for some reason on a single slide entitled "Red Thoughts." There's clip art of a red tinted brain sitting slightly off center, and it's surrounded by this bulleted list of motives given by perpetrators who have committed domestic abuse, listed in order of frequency.
All right, yeah, I don't think he'd mess with that, but Bear will sit down and play Snake on his phone.
Beautiful. How about Father Alvarado?
I think he knows that this has something to do with Agents Hull and Garner, and so I think that he's prompt. But where's this Holiday Inn located? What state?
Sykesville, Maryland.
Okay, so it's not super far from DC, but it's still a bit of a drive. So I think that he gets there after Mr. Swanson. Do you want us to describe what we look like, or?
Please do. Yeah, once you enter the room, we'll get descriptions from everybody.
I think the first thing that Mr. Swenson would notice would be that Father Alvarado is a tall man, fairly lean build, just dressed in a black suit with the father's collar. But he does walk with a cane and a limp, but he has the cane in one hand and a briefcase in the other. And it's not really a briefcase, it's more like almost like a doctor's bag. But yeah, he'll step inside, looking around and seeing Gerrald is the only person here, will look at him and just sort of lift his hand and wave.
So, Bear Swenson is a big, burly man, but he's gone just a little bit soft in the middle. He's 6'6", 250 pounds, with short, dirty blonde hair. He looks like a football player. His hair high and tight. The way he sits in the chair, sort of like leaning forward expectantly. But he looks around and sees the Father Alvarado and says, "Are you here for the seminar?"
Seminar. And at this point, Father Alvarado just sort of looks around the room. Is it like one of those big sort of like banquet halls, or is it like a small office?
Definitely like one of those smaller conference rooms. That's pretty much just like a table with maybe 4 seats on either side. Tiny. There's of course the side table with the bagels and the coffee and stuff. But yeah, nothing big. Definitely not a 4 or even 5-star affair.
Then he'll set his bag up on the table with the coffee and just start to pour himself a cup and say, I'll be honest, I was just sort of brought out here for on behalf of a friend, so to speak. And he pours himself a coffee, and he doesn't add any sugar or cream, it's just black. But he takes up the coffee in his bag and walks on over to his seat across from Mr. Swenson. And Father Alvarado is a man who appears to be in his early 40s, maybe even late 30s on a good day. Of olive skin, curly, dark brown hair with some strands of silver going through it. Also like a dark beard, very neatly trimmed. And he just sort of sips on the coffee, waiting expectantly.
So, you've got an interest in, what is it, domestic abuse? Shit, my supervisor said something about domestic abuse.
That's a very interesting way of putting it. No. Well, I have an interest in stopping it.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
It's okay. No, I'm really just here as, I suppose, more of a consultant than anything.
You don't mind me asking you something, do you?
Sure.
Are you a priest? That's a funny shirt.
He looks down and kind of tugs at the white of his collar and says, well, this would be an interesting costume to go out in. But yes, I am a member of the church, a father.
Oh, thank goodness. I was wondering what was up. Oh, no. I imagine you see a lot of this in your line of work.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
Domestic abuse, like the seminar.
No, actually, not particularly. I'm actually a professor at Georgetown. Tend to deal with things on a more academic scale.
Wow. I didn't even know they let priests do that.
Some of us.
Cool.
Yes.
Huh.
There are different kinds of priests, and I just so happen to be the kind that are allowed to teach, in particular, religious anthropology.
Religious anthropology. Like bones and shit? Sorry, stuff.
It's fine, you can curse. Bones, I suppose, to a degree. Mostly history, sort of the trajectory of Christianity, Catholicism throughout the ages, how it's affected just certain cultures, things of that nature.
Cool. Well, hey, I don't think I introduced myself. I'm Bear.
Father Alvarado. You can call me Nicolas. And he just reaches over and extends his hand.
Yeah, Bear will reach out, and he's just got this big mitt of a hand, just kind of envelops yours, and he gives you a strong squeeze in the handshake.
Yeah, Father Alvarado tries to give you a bit of a squeeze back, but he realizes that you're just too dense. He just sort of sits back in his seat.
I'm a state cop, by the way.
Oh well, I imagine this is a cause that you're somewhat familiar with as well, then.
Yeah. No, you get all kinds of stuff. We get called in, of course, and usually it doesn't end well.
Well, it doesn't sound good.
No, I mean, people are people, right? We all got problems.
I think at this point, Mr. Gleeckman enters the room. What do they see, Bobby?
Robert Gleeckman is sort of like Gerrald, kind of a mountain of a man. He's probably not quite as tall as Gerrald is. I would say like 6'3", 6'4", but maybe a little bit broader. He seems like one of those dudes that like was genetically predisposed to have quite a bit of muscle mass, but like has literally never done anything to like get on top of it. And all of his like growth has probably been in his belly over the last 10 years or so. Looks like he's in his early 30s, short, dark hair, short beard. And despite his size, he seems like he's kind of like, it's one of those big dudes that instead of like filling a room, tries to like sink into the corners of it. So he's a little bit hunched when he walks in the room. And seeing the two of you, he looks quite startled for a moment before going, good morning.
Good morning. Please take a seat. I think just bagels, coffee. I'm Father Alvarado. Please just call me Nicolas. And he extends his hand for you to shake.
And he'll take it, and you'll notice that his handshake is not firm. He's got like quite a mitt, just like Gerrald, and it's very like dense hand, but it is a soft, limp handshake. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Robert. But you can just call me Bobby. Everybody does.
Hey, I'm Bear. He holds out his hand.
And Bobby will take it and shake it as well. Hello.
Look at you. You're a big guy. You play any ball?
No, that was never. It's never for me. A lot of people ask me that, though. I think a lot of people wanted me to.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine. Yeah.
And he's going to go over and get himself a cup of coffee and a bagel. And you'll notice he grabs a couple of extra paper napkins. And then he's going to sit down probably next to Father Alvarado. And he starts folding one of the napkins. And as he's folding it, he's making sure to like really firmly press the creases. But he just sort of folds it and unfolds it and folds it again.
He looks at him doing this out of the corner of his eye, but I think he says out loud, "Well, I have to admit, I feel much safer between the two of you already. What is it that you do? I'm sorry, Bobby, you said it was?"
Yeah, it's Bobby. I work for the NSA.
That's important work, isn't it?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Sir, yeah, I definitely like it. Yeah.
Is everything, and without saying is everything okay, he sort of just starts to drift his eyes down at the napkin and the incessant folding.
Oh, yeah, it's just I have busy hands, so I like to have something to do with them.
Idle hands.
Yeah, I can stop if you want me to.
No. I wasn't sure if you were folding something into something else, or forgive me. It's just it's been a long drive, and I'm naturally a little curious.
No problem at all. Folds. Yeah, folds.
So just to give you a quick recap there, Sonia, so you kind of know what's up. You were essentially summoned to this Holiday Inn Express in Sykesville, Maryland, under the auspices of attending a domestic violence conference or a seminar. Which, in your line of work, I mean, you're as a physician at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center, you're used to occasionally attending training courses regarding recognition of domestic violence, especially when you're dealing with medical patients and the like. So it's not too far outside the realm of possibility that this is legitimate. And when you arrive, you enter the room and you see 3 gentlemen already there. So kind of describe what they see as you enter the room.
So they see a taller woman enter the room. She's dressed neatly in like a pressed suit, silk pants set in like a dark gray with like pinstripes. She looks around a little curiously, looking to see if she's in the right place. She has brown skin, like moderate large hook nose, dark piercing eyes. She's pretty tall and statuesque. She stands at like 5'10", without heels. With the heels, she's like clocking 6'1", and she is just kind of looking around. And this is Dr. Leah Caron, and yeah, hello. Am I in the right place?
I suppose so. And Father Alvarado will stand. You'll notice that he has a slender, dark wooden cane in one hand and extends his hand to greet you.
Leah will approach and take the hand and shake it kind of a little firmly, like, and practiced, like she's done this quite a bit. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Leah Caron.
Leah, I assume that you're here for the same reason we are. The what was that again? The domestic violence?
That's what my boss said, yeah.
Something along those lines, yes.
Bobby will stand up and hold out a hand. Hi.
Hello. And she reaches out and shakes as well.
I'm Bobby. It's nice to meet you. And you notice he has quite a limp handshake. It's a very soft handshake.
Pleased to meet you as well.
Bear Swenson.
And she like tries to look at Bear, and Dot's pleased to meet you as well. Pleased to meet everybody. Is this it? Are we meeting on the seminar? Are we early or am I late?
Thought it was supposed to start by now.
Hard to say. I suppose if the person running this presentation isn't here, then you are, then you're in fact early.
For you, Agent Daphne, you're probably still, understandably tired, likely sleep deprived, shaken, let's be honest, maybe a little hungover. What does this motley crew see as you enter the conference room?
Yeah, when I enter, they see a woman who looks like she's maybe in her late 20s to early 30s, somewhere in there. She has shoulder-length dark brown hair, dark rectangular glasses. She's dressed fairly casually, blue jeans and like a white tee with a blue button-up that isn't buttoned over it. Her hair's been pulled back into a ponytail. She might look a little fatigued, but she also has a very easy confidence to her. Her resting face is a small smile. So if she was out of the sorts of any way, she does a pretty good job of hiding that. Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Leah just nods.
Are you here to lead the seminar?
You could say that. I'm Agent Sarah Hart. Nice to meet you all.
Agent Hart. I'm sorry. Was that Agent Hall?
Hart, H-A-R-T.
Bobby will take this opportunity to go. I don't know if if you have access to this information, but I'm still not entirely clear on what this is about. I know it's supposed to have something to do with domestic violence, but I don't really know why I'm here.
Good instincts. This is not a seminar on domestic violence. And I, make sure doors locked, windows covered, all that jazz. Before I sit down kind of at wherever the head-ish of the table is or across from everyone and kind of set my folders out.
Agent Hart, did you by chance happen to know an FBI Special Agent Barry Hall or Lena Garner?
Vince, probably not, aside from that they exist in the program.
Yeah, so the only agents that you actually knew and had any contact with in the group were Agent Charlie and Agent Ernie, the leaders of C-Cell and E-Cell, and you only knew them by code name, and you only had addresses to reach them by encrypted email. You did not know any other C-Cell members or E-Cell members, and that, in your experience, that's typical of the operational security, right? Is that any member of a cell only has contact with the preceding and subsequent cell, and usually only one point of contact at a time.
Got it. Cool. You could say we work in the same department, but I've never met them personally.
Wait a second, Padre. You know Gary?
Only semi-professionally. He and his partner came to Georgetown a few times asking for some insight onto cases that they were working on.
Wow. Small world, huh?
Oh, did you know them?
Yeah, Agents Hall and Garner, they, I met them. I don't even remember how I met them. It was a long time ago, but yeah, we kept in touch over the years.
I imagine you all have similar stories. You all came highly recommended when I was looking for some people to assist me in a current case.
What kind of assistance are you looking for?
Well, let's get into what exactly it is, and then maybe we'll go from there. And I kind of open my folder. Not the freaky one, normal one. Have any of you heard of the Cornucopia House? It's run by a nonprofit charity, Families Without Frontiers.
Have we?
You would not.
No, that doesn't ring a bell. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry, I haven't. Where is it located?
Near Zion. It's fine that you haven't heard of it. It actually makes sense, but I've been asked to investigate it. We believe that there has been some abuse towards the children in their care. And I have been asked to investigate, and I would like you all to assist me in this.
Okay, sure, yeah.
That's horrible news. I'm not sure what assistance I could bring. I mean, you have an NSA agent and a local law enforcement officer. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch what it is that you do, Miss.
Leah clears her throat after she finishes swallowing her bite of a bagel. A doctor. I'm a doctor. Yes, I'm also quite concerned about what role I would be playing in. I mean, I'm a mandated reporter, so I could report this house, but I can't.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a miscategorization to say I'm an NSA agent. It's technically true, but I do computer stuff. I do the computer stuff. I don't really know that much about the law enforcement side of things.
You are all chosen for specific reasons. You're all recommended for specific reasons. I have to trust that the people who made those recommendations made them for the right reason. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of information on this Cornucopia House to give you right now, other than what I've just said. But since you all worked with those agents, I don't think I have to remind you all that some of the work that my department does is unconventional. So some of the people we recruit may seem odd, or ask for assistance may seem odd. We expect to run into similar oddities and unusual occurrences here. Since you have some experience with assisting in those, it's probably why you were chosen.
Yeah, I am. I'm definitely willing. to help. That sounds like a horrible situation. I guess I was just curious as to how I could help you, but I'm willing. I'm here.
I'd love to help, but my boss says I got to go to this seminar.
This is the seminar.
Wait, this isn't about domestic abuse.
Well, I'm not doing a slideshow on it.
Yeah, technically it is, just not in the way we were expecting. I'm not getting any education hours out of this. So then the question is, like, what can we do? Like, is this an official thing? Does Agent... Because I know we know Agent Hall and Gardner, but at the same time, what are we supposed to do about this? I mean, I could report the house now that I have suspicion, but...
No reports. And also you should not be informing your employers or families or anyone of what you are actually doing here. Telling them that you are at the seminar is all the information that they need to know. For now, our job is to neutralize the threat that the adults in this situation are posing towards these children.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by neutralize?
Like remove them from the situation?
More or less. More, actually, not less.
I have some experience with welfare cases, child welfare cases, but this is beyond my scope. I mean, couldn't we just bring in Agent Hall or someone else from the FBI?
You have me. Consider me your Agent Hall.
I guess I'll be more blunt. If by neutralize you mean eliminate, I don't. That's far beyond my scope.
Any part of this that makes you uncomfortable, you can leave to me. I'm only looking for the expertise that you can provide with the information that we encounter during this investigation.
Bobby's eyes go down to the table, and the napkin folding increases in pace.
I understand that this is a lot of information, and it's probably uncomfortable information to be hearing, but from what it sounds like, everyone here is currently willing to help. If that is not the case, I need to know that immediately.
I can't shoot somebody. I'm a cop, for Christ's sake.
I'm sorry, Agent Hart. If you don't mind my asking, you said if we don't have the stomach for this, so to speak, that we should tell you now. But given that we've all been summoned here and by powers that be, the people who I assume have assigned you to us, is it safe to say that we really don't have a choice?
You have a choice in telling me whether or not you think you can stomach this. That is information I will need to know. Your participation will still be highly invaluable, but I can make adjustments as needed.
But is our participation required? Or is it elective?
That cartoon cat folder stares up at you from the table, Daphne.
Are you having some second thoughts, Father?
I'm having more than second thoughts. I'm having third and foresight. This sounds like work that I am not cut out for.
She kind of just nods. Doesn't seem like upset or anything. She just nods very understandingly. It is heavy. I understand that. There is, and she kind of taps that pink folder, more information that may be compelling. However, it's not something I share lightly, but I am willing to if anyone needs additional convincing. I only want to warn you, you see this information, there is no going back. Your participation will no longer be elective.
I'm sorry, I just want to be clear about something. If I assist you, I don't have to. I don't have to hurt anyone. Right? I can help in other ways.
She doesn't answer immediately. She does try to offer a confident smile and says, I will do what I can to make sure that is not necessary.
And you can tell he's making like an effort to make a consistent eye contact with you. but his eyes keep flicking down to his hands.
To be clear, I'm not planning on arming you, if that's a question.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, anyone need additional convincing, or are we good?
My experience is yours to utilize in this consultation, I guess. I'll help. Again, unsure how much help I will be, but I will help if it gets these kids safe.
I don't think I can do this. I mean, I've got a family. I took an oath.
She looks at Bear and just slowly slides the pink folder towards him.
I mean, I don't care what's in that folder. It's not going to convince me to shoot somebody.
Convinced me.
All right. He flips it open.
Gerrald, out of these words to describe how you would react, choose one. Outrage, sorrow, revenge, humor, precision, purpose, acceptance, isolation, denial, or excess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be outrage, but I think it's kind of a combination of outrage and sorrow. He's sort of, what he sees makes him extremely angry, and yet it's almost like something has changed about him and his outlook. Having seen this, he looks much more serious and much more sadder. Just sad.
I'm going to share a handout with you.
Okay. That's all that runs through your mind. You never asked to see that. You're angry at those who saw it first, but you can't understand why they showed you. Why would they? Who would want to be the only person to have seen those pictures? The weight of it, it would kill you. You can understand spreading the fucking misery around, forgive it even, but creating it? How dare they? What they've stolen, what seeing those images stole, that alone would be worth the killing. That could be it, and the blood would be justified, but that's not it, is it? They did that to people, and then made sure the blasphemy could worm its way through the world on millipede legs and burrow into your eyes and make a nest in your mind, and you can't get it out, because it bites at you as you reach in to yank it free. It lives there now, inside you, forever. Holy shit, why did he show that to me?
Did it convince you?
Whoever did this, they don't need a court.
Do all of us see it?
So I will say you can either, does anybody look over his shoulder as he opens this?
Leah pointedly does not.
Yeah, the father's sitting across from him, but I don't think he's like leering over trying to get a view.
And Bobby's sitting beside Father Alvarado, so I don't think he would be able to see it. But he is like darting his eyes in between Gerald's face and Agent Hart's face to kind of see if he can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, she looks, for like kind of the easy confidence that she had before, knowing that she's now shown someone else this, there is this sobering to her and like kind of a sadness, but also like reinforced resolve that we're going to take care of the things that were witnessed.
What's in the folder?
What we're going to stop.
You don't want to know.
He nods. Doesn't ask again.
So we're starting at this cornucopia house.
Yes, it's not far from here.
Are we doing this tactically, or are we just, or because I have some training in firearms as an army doctor, but I am not proficient. I'm not the best shot.
Did you bring any firearms with you?
I thought this was a domestic violence seminar.
That's fair.
I will say for you, you know that nobody should be using their personal firearms on this. That whatever you take in, you're leaving behind or disposing of completely.
And would I have access to like what are they called? Green boxes or whatever? Somewhere in the area?
So no green box. You're
Okay.
essentially going to be on your own trying to get access to firearms, either legally or illegally. But you know that a good murder weapon requires 2 out of 3 things: either a lack of trace evidence, a broken chain of custody, or an inability to find the weapon at all. So in Maryland, this likely means either a private purchase of firearms under fake credentials or stealing one. And honestly, probably more than one, because despite what you told Mr. Gleeckman, everyone's going to have to pull their weight on this one.
Bummer. Okay. Yeah, social estate. We'd have to secure different firearms anyway. Nothing that can be traced back to any of you.
Sorry, any of us? I don't know how to use a gun.
Why would? Yeah, I'm. You just said that you would be handling the more violent aspects of this. Why would I need a gun?
I intend to, fully. But having one on you for self-defense might not be a terrible idea.
I think it would be safer if I didn't have one. I don't know how to use. I don't know how to use one.
This is when Father Alvarado starts to stand and leans his weight on his cane, pushes himself up away from the table. With all due respect, Agent Hart, if this is my time to leave and tell you that I'm not cut out for this or capable of it, I'm going to take that time. So with all due respect, it was very nice meeting all of you. I'm going to go back to DC, though.
She'll kind of take the pink folder and just kind of has her hands on it, not like giving it to him, be like, look at this or anything. And she'll say, I meant what I said, and that I will do my best to make sure that any violence of this is coming from me and is not on you. I just want to make sure that since I am bringing you into a potentially dangerous situation, that you are all going to be as protected as possible. You can refuse the firearm. I won't force it on you. I just want to be realistic and give you an option.
Do you have any intel about this cornucopia house that isn't... And he just looks down at the pink folder. That's not in that folder.
Currently, no. This was all I was given.
Father Alvarado sucks his teeth on a bit, debating on whether or not he should look at that. What's the expression on Agent Hart's face when he looks sort of interested in the folder?
I'll roll, make a human roll.
Okie dokie.
And then if he succeeds, Daphne, you can kind of tell him what he may or may not see.
22 out of 80.
Yeah, similar as before when Gerrald was reading it. It's clearly not something she takes lightly, and she's not wanting to, like, if she doesn't have to share it, she doesn't want to. But also willing to cross that line if it means convincing someone to help her. There's like this extreme resolve that even though she has limited information, whatever this is extremely important, and she'll do what she needs to put an end to it.
He'll look down at the folder and then back up at Agent Hart, and he'll put his fingertips on the folder and slide it closer to himself. and he will open it.
Out of those descriptors, how do you think Father Alvarado reacts?
Oof.
I can also choose for you.
Without knowing the contents, but knowing that it has something to do with violence against the children, I think it's going to be sorrow.
Okay. I will share something with you, then.
You used to cry, not often, and always in secret. A weak moment in an airport bathroom. A diversion into the garage to get more drinks at that friend's party. It was just general stress, or, on an even rarer occasion, sorrows that would make anyone weep. Understandable breakdowns, but no longer. Not after looking at that folder. The embarrassment of your periodic secretive tears burns like an ember compared to the total forest fire rage you feel towards yourself at the blind privilege that allowed you to believe anything in your life has been worth tears. All the world's sorrow should have been saved and expended in the moment that camera flashed. Like the amputee, you could sense the phantom pain of your severed melancholy. It will never return. Tears will never seem worthy again. But the ghostly sensation of the drops streaming down your cheeks refuses to stop. And I think with that, he doesn't slam the folder shut, but he does flip it shut and pushes it away from himself and away from the others, like towards the opposite end of the table. And I think that he has a little gold chain on with little tiny crucifix pendant that he holds up to his lips and begins to just sort of silently pray to himself. And I think the others would see that even though he's trying to fight it and still sort of have this strong facade, it's clearly cracked open now, and he's got tears kind of coming down the side of his eye and down his cheek, and he sits down again, just quiet.
So when you try to slide the folder farther away from everyone, Bobby's going to put out one of his gigantic hands and stop the folder from moving too far away from him. And look at Agent Hart. What's in here? Is it just information?
It's evidence of what is being done to those children.
Okay, I'm not good. I can't really do violence. I'm not very good at it, but if it's information, I'm good with that. I can help with that. And Bobby will, at that, he'll kind of side-eye the priest sitting beside him who started praying after looking at it. But I think like he is under the impression that it's just like really dark information. I don't think he understands that there's anything like, otherworldly or whatever going on. And he's going to flip open the folder and make a flip open.
If you don't mind, based on kind of what I've learned about Bobby so far, I'll choose for you, if you don't mind. So I will share this with you, and then you may read it.
You remember reading or seeing something about the NASA Glenn Hypersonic Test Facility. They use it to test aircraft traveling faster than the speed of sound. You think it's in Ohio, right? If you could get in with the people who made that folder, you could strap them to a fuselage or piece of test scaffolding. You could retreat to the control room and set the engine to full blast. You could watch the skin cut away by knives of atmosphere. You could watch as the blood and fat aerosol and winds faster than Mach 5. You could watch the structural integrity of the bodies decay until the meat goes flying against the safety grating and gets instantly cubed. You know it's impractical. You know that's not how this goes down. You'll help however you can, no matter what is decided. Still, you keep imagining. It's the only story horrible enough to keep the insistent reality of what you've just seen from springing to the front of your mind. So he gets more still. Like he's been sort of like uncomfortable, quite obviously anxious, doing the napkin folding thing. But he gets very, very still. Takes a couple of deep breaths, closes the folder and slides it back towards Agent Hart.
Yeah, she looks, with each new person that reads it, she looks more and more serious and maybe like, I don't want to say sad is the right word, but just mournful of something that's been lost for these people that they will never get back.
Leah, you've seen now these three gentlemen with you open and view this folder and kind of watch their faces as they process what's inside. What's your reaction?
She is not looking at the pink folder. She's not looking at the men. She's looking straight at Agent Hart, and she is asking what else she needs. And with her gaze, with her eyes, with her expression, she is denying the hell out of whatever's happening in that folder and whatever's happening to these men.
Okay.
Yeah, seeing that Leah is not going to take it, she'll take the folder back. No judgment or perception one way or the other, whether she's like disappointed or happy. She just tucks it away into like her briefcase that she brought and says, let's get to work. Now, we can either go in there, me with guns blazing, and she looks at Bobby and the father as she says that. Or I understand some of you might have an aptitude for reconnaissance and information gathering if we wanted to start there.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. The thing that I'm concerned about is that there's probably not going to be much of an online presence to this thing, right? I can find out though. I'll find out.
There may be some kind of front. They're tied to families without frontiers. But other than that, very little is known.
Have I heard of Families Without Frontiers? I can roll for it if you like.
Yeah, you're more of a professor. You're not really involved. Like, are you really involved in like outreach with the community, like, you know, charity type stuff, or?
I mean, to a degree, not necessarily to the degree that other, other priests might be, especially ones who are committed to, working within the church directly. But
I'd say maybe you're vaguely familiar with it as a nonprofit. You're not sure of any kind of religious connections or connotations with a specific church or a specific organization, but you've probably at least heard of it.
Zion House, is it a orphanage? Is it just a foster house? Or what does it say it works as?
It's Cornucopia House. It's in the town of Zion. That's fine. All that we know is it's a nonprofit that works with children. Other than that, again, very little information.
Bobby is planning on doing a little bit of like internet reconnaissance, but I don't think he has anything on him. He'll probably wait until he gets back to his hotel room or whatever.
So I think Bear would look at Agent Hart and say, I've got my service piece on me, but if you let me go home, I can pick up a couple other guns.
Nothing that is registered to you. We might have to go off the books for this one.
Well, of course they're all registered to me.
Of course.
Let me look at your criminology real quick, Bear.
Yeah, it's 40%.
40%, good enough. Yeah, as you kind of think about it, you know that. What am I looking for? Give me 2 seconds. You know that with what you've seen in that folder and what you know is being asked of you, you know that anything you take to that scene is either staying there or you're bringing it out with you and disposing of it at a separate site. But you know that nothing that's going to happen there can ever be traced back to you because these people are going to die.
Right.
So, you know, and with the circles that you run in, you know that gun shows are a great possible avenue. And you know, there's criminal avenues you could go. I mean, both you and Agent Daphne run in. Well, you're in Virginia. Daphne is in Maryland. You could possibly use some of your criminology resources to see if there's someone nearby who might be able to, or might be more amiable to providing you with an off the books.
Right.
Or you break into a gun store. But that's just the gun piece.
Right. Yeah.
Because then it's transportation and it's clothing You are going to, I mean, for those of you that are in this, you are going to commit murder. And at this point, the only thing is planning enough to get away with it.
Okay, then how we will need reconnaissance definitely to know how many adults there are, and if there's a way to get the children out of the house prior. Because if we can just set that house on fire,
What are you talking about? Set the house on fire.
We'll want to be more thorough than that.
What do you mean more thorough? I'm sorry. It's
sorry, I read a lot of crime novels. Apologies. Just thinking about ways on how to get away with murder.
He shudders at that, but he takes a deep breath and he looks at Agent Hart and says, "If you need reconnaissance, I can at least provide that, or try to anyway. I can't say how effective I'll be after that." And he sort of shakes the top of his cane a bit, not like wildly, but just sort of like motions with it. But I can at least do you that favor.
To be completely frank, I don't think any of us should make contact with anyone there until we are ready to go in. I am concerned that there has been not a whole lot of information or warning, but one bit of advice that I was given is that we should not let any of these adults speak or listen to what they say.
Why not?
She kind of eyes her briefcase that the folder is in. Who knows how persuasive they are? And like she's kind of like, without outright saying, because unnatural weird shit could happen. She's trying to like convey that, knowing that these people have like had adjacent contact with weird stuff, that it's similarly along those lines.
Well, whatever transportation we bring them, we'll need to accommodate the children. If we don't know how many they're going to be.
Once the adults are taken care of, we can work on evacuating all of the children in a more efficient way than one car.
I know we've been talking around it a little bit, but what is in the folder? So if we've seen it, are we like not able to comprehend it? Are we leaving that vague for a reason? With looking at the folder kind of clue us in on the fact that something unnatural is going on? Or what's the like level of knowledge that the people that have looked at it have?
I will say it's the images depict men, women, children, and things. Their forms combine in ways that are a compelling argument against the existence of God. The lighting is amateurish and inadequate for the night in which the scene was filmed. It took place somewhere in the woods or on a farm.
So we're definitely like in the territory of starting to understand that something potentially very supernatural is happening.
Yes. Or at a minimum, there are children being murdered while you wait.
When do we go?
As soon as we can. I'll see what we can do about getting some firearms. We'll need everyone to find...
What if we can anesthetize the entire house? Put them all to sleep.
I don't know of a way to do that in one fell swoop.
Chlorine gas, something like chlorine gas, like chlorine and or nitrous oxide.
I mean, chlorine would kill the kids, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we need to get the children out first.
And you don't know, and you also don't know how many buildings are actually on this site.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think Agent Hart, hearing Dr. Caron kind of start talking about like chemical stuff and knowing that there is some hesitancy about guns, she'll clarify that what matters is that the people that are doing this are dead. Obviously, I'm more inclined to a gun. That's what I'm used to. But if you want to prepare other means or methods, by all means.
It's very different from all of the children need to be safe. With all due respect, Agent.
She like inclines her, like she nods, recognizing that like, yeah, anything that's going to be like a mass explosion is going to harm the children, but she's still open to those discussions.
I mean, if we're gonna go there, I'm gonna want a gun in my hand just in case one of those fuckers comes after me. Sorry, Father.
You just see Father Alvarado with his head in his hand, just like incessantly pressing his fingers into his forehead.
Is there an easy source or like a source of nitrous oxide that we could get a hold of? Because that's the anesthetic that could be used to put like a building to sleep.
Yeah, not easily.
Get rob a dentist's office.
Bleach and vinegar, carbon monoxide and bleach, propane ammonia.
So thermally decomposing a hot solution of ammonium nitrate and water. Okay.
Father, what's going through your mind?
Oh, he's in a complete crisis of faith right now. He's seen things that have, made him question the existence of his own God. He's seen things that are not. He's spent his entire religious and academic career sort of figuring out ways to interpret the occult darkness as symptoms of humanity's own mental illness or, their own proclivities for violence. But this has shaken him up, and while everyone's coming up with a plan, he's still he feels like he's still several paces behind, trying to catch up.
There's a part of you that branches, right? There's a part of you that, that you're used to debating free will versus divine plan, right? Maybe the free will piece is, if there is a God, would he really be so upset with you removing these people from his plan? And if there is a divine plan, maybe you were put here for a very specific reason, and it was to save those children.
Yeah, that's definitely sort of brewing in his head right now, and I think he's letting it percolate.
Just so I can kind of like wrap my head around how I can get someone of Bobby's personality to get behind it. So like, does the folder make you want to do violence, or would it be possible for someone who is like constitutionally opposed to violence, like very against it, to like maybe be compelled to like support the use of violence rather than actually like participate in it? You know what I mean? Like that's how he would justify it, or is it like it's kind of pushing him to want to commit the violence?
So when Bobby looked at those images, it's one of those things where it's still kind of ingrained on the back of his eyelids, right? And some of those kids were your stepson's age. Some of them were boys with the same hair, the same eyes. And for a minute, unbidden, your mind can't help but, what's the word I'm looking for? Superimpose the two. And you wonder what your reaction would be if your stepson was in any of those photos.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around it a little bit. But I think like his natural inclination would be to like try and develop and then assist with a plan that led to the deaths of these people without having to actually participate in a physical killing of someone. But I think if he's being pushed by the information in the folder or twisted a little by the information in the folder, then I can rock with that, and I can.
It's not pushing you out of character. Like, it's not going to push you to make an out of character decision. But I'm sure Bobby's been mad before. I'm sure Bobby's experienced rage in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
The emotions that you feel that run the gamut, the emotions you felt, kind of like with the father, the emotions you felt up in this point pale in comparison to what you're feeling now. And while it may seem unreasonable to us sitting here to think that you're automatically pushed to being okay with murder, what you've seen is there's there's no going back from that. They've both stolen a piece of you, and they've stolen so much from those kids in those pictures.
Right now, his mindset is like, I'm going to do everything I can to support Agent Hart's murder of these men, because he can sort of wrap his mind around that, because he's not the one actually pulling the trigger, but he won't. He still thinks he's not going to have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the father feels the same way. It's like, that's why he made the comment about it doesn't sound like the same objective as saving the kids, because in his mind, it's about saving the kids. The murder of these people is secondary to him, but he's also not there in the moment, so once he's met with the reality of the situation, I'm sure, things will change. But right now he's keeping himself level-headed. Well, not level-headed, but he's keeping himself, afloat with the concern of the children and not necessarily, going on a murder spree.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll see what happens when you get on site.
Exactly. There's no atheist in a foxhole. There's no, there's no pacifist when you're getting your ass beat. So.
Yep.
How much time do we have for this?
Sooner we go, the better. This is happening every moment.
How much time do you want to let this go on?
Just to prepare, we don't know what we're rolling into. We have no intel. We have no information. We have barely have information about Zion House. The Cornucopia House.
Yeah, Father Alvarado will chime in and say, lifting his head out of his hand and say, every moment we wait, those things keep happening. I don't presume to think that their supply of children is limitless, but I do feel like their capacity for cruelty is.
We need guns. We need a vehicle. Everyone here needs a change of clothes that does not currently belong to them. Whatever else we can get together in that time frame is what we get. And then we go. Deal?
Deal.
You said that we shouldn't let them speak to us, or we shouldn't hear them.
She seriously considers that. Those are very two different things. Don't let them speak. Don't give them the chance.
We got much harder. That was much harder to pull off. Okay.
She'll stand up and say, well, I'll see what I can do about getting us some firearms.
Hey, Agent Hart, this Chesapeake Sportsman show is going on right now. I could swing by if you want me to.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know where to get a car, though. Not in Maryland.
Anyone have any fake identification on them by any chance?
I would question, if we could get... ATMs were a thing in 2001, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Getting some cash just to buy some cheap clothes from a thrift store.
Yeah, so if Gerrald wants to take a look at the firearms, myself and Bobby can figure out the car situation.
Okay.
Just give me your sizes. I can get you things from the thrift store or whatever's nearby. And probably a temporary cane for the father.
And if does anybody plan on doing any research into the Cornucopia House or the families without frontiers?
Yes, I'll be getting into research mode.
Love it. Okay.
I think Bobby would plan on giving them a quick look up once him and Agent Hart have got the vehicle sorted, but.
So I will say, Daphne, part of the package you received was some financial tax documents and stuff for the charity, and that might be of some use to Father Alvarado if he's planning on doing research.
Yeah, I'll give him the normal folder that has the very basic information that I had. Just tell him, here's everything. Good luck.
I'm actually going to share a handout with everyone that is the MapQuest printout that was included in the manila folder that has the layout of the area.
It's in the middle of a huge property.
So 5 guns is gonna cost a lot of money. You guys, anybody want to chip in?
Oh, I was gonna ask if I have access to accounting stuff that I could withdraw cash or?
Yeah, so it's essentially the same as we've done in previous games, where you essentially, as long as it's within a certain expense, you're fine. For paying for an unusual offense, it would reduce a bond by 1. You know, if it's a major expense, you can only do it by taking on a heavy debt, and that's by making an N times 5 or accounting test.
Would this be considered, I'm assuming, a heavy expense?
Depends on what you guys are looking for. Like if you're looking for some high end good stuff, like yeah, it's probably like for 5 guns, probably. But if you're going for cheap, like high point plastic fantastic guns, yeah, you can probably get away with it. Something within an unusual expense.
When Gerrald asks the group whether or not anybody wants to pitch in, Bobby is going to avoid eye contact and not say anything.
You know what? You work in Maryland, there, Daphne. So make a criminology roll for me, real quick.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Damn, 97. That's high.
Yeah, you can't think of anyone right now. You may need to do some research later, but there's got to be somebody within the Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, DC area that you guys could possibly get. Maybe somebody that's even popped up on FBI radars before, or somebody that, you know, law enforcement has had an interaction with. You've got to be able to get something.
Right, but I mean, it'll be expensive.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I live in Maryland and also have a pretty high criminology. Can I make a roll for that?
You know what? Go for it. Ooh, yeah, 74 out of 60.
Well, I'll go ahead and withdraw whatever cash that I can.
Okay.
And then, yeah, just say, get what you can. If we need to look around for other avenues of acquiring weapons, we can do so.
Right. And again, how do we decide? It's a int roll, right?
In times 5 or accounting, yeah.
N times 5 or accounting. Probably accounting's better for me.
But that'll be dependent on when you get there. Because also don't forget, when you go to a gun show, you are going to need to accomplish paperwork as well. So there's going to be probably a follow-on test to convincingly forge or steal identification that they can copy during the purchase.
Right.
What role would the forging stuff be?
Probably criminology, right?
Yeah, criminology, law, or bureaucracy.
Okay. I have a 50 in bureaucracy and a 60 in criminology.
Okay.
I got a 60 in bureaucracy, but only a 40 in criminology. So
I got a 50 in bureaucracy, and that's about it.
I think probably the first thing that Bear's gonna do is try and get a fake ID so that he can go to the gun show and buy some guns, and then get some money. But yeah, money is gonna be hard for him.
Other options that you can think of with your criminology rating. So obviously there's the gun show, right? There's a pawn shop. You could also steal if it came down to it, from cars, from shops, from even the evidence locker at the Virginia State Police Barracks if you needed to, or from a private residence.
Ooh, you're right. I could. Yeah. I mean, stealing from the state police seems like it would link back to him too much. But
if you can think of, if you can get in and get out without being caught, or at least with a convincing cover story.
Stealing a gun, though, is going to be like a criminology check. It's not going to be, because I can't think. I can't think of the last time I saw a car with a gun in it.
Part of the thing that I was going to say is, like, there are gun stores in Maryland. Why don't we just rob one of them? We know there's guns there, but it's not a police station, so it's not going to lead back to you.
So the skills required for that would probably be stealth to get in. And then SIGINT or craft, which I know one of you has, to bypass alarms and CCTV.
I have, and SIGINT is my highest skill. I have an 80 in SIGINT.
Yeah.
For the evidence locker, for you, Gerald, it would be law bureaucracy to get like a legitimate excuse to get access, and then but you would also need stealth to get out, get it out without being caught, and then potentially to bring it back in unnoticed.
Right.
Because you would need to, it couldn't go missing. You would need to bring it back.
Okay. I mean, actually, I like the idea of maybe just trying to steal from the store. Gun shop.
Yeah, like after hours, just bust into a gun store and take the ladies. And that's like the type of crime that I think happens pretty regularly. So it could be easily disguised as something innocuous.
How's Father Alvarado doing?
I think he's just taking it all in, but he knows nothing about guns or breaking into gun stores to get them. If he's stealing himself for whatever inevitably he'll have to confront, which will presumably be the things in those pictures, and he's just sort of like just trying to keep his composure. Feels very helpless in this situation currently.
So what's her plan?
Well, if Bobby wants to help with the robbing stuff, because you have a high SIGINT, I can do the car stuff. I have high enough criminology and drive. I can do that on my own. Or you're welcome to help with that too.
The robbing of the gun store is going to have to be after hours, like after dark.
True, you could do that after. Okay. What time is it?
Probably not. It's probably not even lunch. It's probably just after like 11.
Okay. So what we can do is get clothes and maybe just do research until night falls.
Absolutely.
It's February, right? So it's cold.
It is. It is very cold.
And judging from that map, we're going to have to hike a ways.
That is very likely, yes. The first week of February 2001 in Northeast Maryland, it was freezing at night to very cold by day, no higher than about 44 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Sun rises at about 7, sets at about 5:30, which helps.
So plenty of time to do research and get clothes, basically. So that's what
Yeah.
we'll do. Get clothes.
Are we all going to go get clothes together, or?
I got your sizes down. Do people want to come with?
Hearing her kind of say this, Agent Hart and especially Gerald and even Bobby, with those criminology ratings of yours and that sense you have for this sort of activity, you know it might be beneficial to split up purchases between different locations separated over a geographic distance in cash.
Gotcha. Okay. So maybe if 2 or 3 of us go ahead and make the purchases at different places across the city.
Yep.
So maybe then, since we've got the day to do it, maybe Laura can go shopping for the day, and then the others can start looking for transportation rather, scoping out different places they can, break and enter into.
I think if we're not doing any of the crimes during the day, which it doesn't sound like we're going to, Bobby is going to spend the daylight hours finding out as much information about this group as he possibly can.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Walmart first, maybe get some clothes, but I'll feel good with like a baseball bat in my hands. Anybody else want one?
Maybe that's... I don't want one, but it might be better for me to have that than a gun. I have nervous hands. I don't think a gun is. I don't think that's a good idea.
Look, Bobby, you just got to get on the range and get used to it. You'll have a couple of shots, you'll be addicted, man.
I don't think we have the time for that.
Yeah. All right.
He does not look interested in doing that.
All right, yeah. Nearest Walmart. I think Kmart was still a thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
go out through the different stores and everything.
I mean, thrift shops, right?
Yeah, thrift shops. Spread the money a little bit, buy different pieces of clothing here, there, and elsewhere.
Exactly.
I might also pick up a couple burner cells as well, just in case.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Well, I think with that plan in mind, as this haphazard cell starts to finalize and conceptualize a plan to approach this problem, I think this is a perfect place to bring our session to a close for tonight. Thank you for listening to Delta Green, God's Teeth, part of the Black Project Gaming podcast. If you like what you heard, please consider leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or a comment on YouTube. Be sure to visit blackprojectgaming.com for previous and future Delta Green episodes. If you'd like updates on all future releases, please follow us on Blue Sky or Facebook. Until next time, I'm Vince, your host and handler, with Brent as Robert Bobby Gleeckman with the NSA's Tailored Access Operations Unit, Cami as FBI Special Agent Sarah Hart, also known as Agent DAPHNE, Doug as Virginia State Trooper Gerrald Bear Swenson, Jack as Father Nicolas Alvarado, professor at Georgetown University, and Sonia as Dr. Leah Caron, Army physician at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Thank you again, and remember, we'll be seeing you.